Oh, welcome back. This is for worksheet number 3 on conflict. And again, please do these things together. Please get them done. All right, it's important for your education, and I want to see everybody complete and do what they have to do. Okay. So again, conflict, as I said before, is when the main characters are coming up against an opposing force. And there are 6 types of conflict. And we're going to go over these 10 questions again, all right? So that you can get a clear understanding as to what to do when they're assigned. Okay, number 1. Pardon me, a little bug in my throat, actually. Okay, as far back as Brendan could remember, he only wanted one girl, Alice Daly. To Brendan, she was perfect in every way. There was just one problem. Every time Brendan tried to talk to her, he felt butterflies in his stomach, and then he threw up in his mouth. To overcome his fear, Brendan enlisted the help of the coolest guy in the school, Max Mansion, to teach him how to talk to girls. Will Brendan be able to summon the nerve to ask out Alice with Max's help, or will he just puke in his mouth again? Sounds like a confidence issue. So, yeah, it was a bug. So, what is that? It's who's the protagonist or main character is Brendan. Who's the antagonist? It's himself. So it's Brendan versus Brendan. And this is the case of person versus self. Number 2, Justin didn't want to get involved in a struggle for civil rights. He just wanted to go to school. Unfortunately, many people in the community did not want Justin to go to school, their school, because of his African American heritage. A simple walk to the school becomes a powerful march for rights as Justin, a group of civil rights leaders, and millions of supporters make Justin's case the centerpiece in a heated battle for equal rights. Okay. So Justin is the main character. And it's Justin versus, now it sounds like he's in a situation probably in the 1950s and 60s where wherever he's going to school, he may not be wanted because of his background. So we're dealing with an issue of society. So it's Justin versus society. This is a case of person versus society. Number 3, Kelly just wanted a cup of coffee, but the coffee machine in the office is on the fritz. This inconvenient situation turns into an epic battle as Kelly won't take it. It's broke for an answer. Join Kelly as she spends the better part of a workday fiddling with the coffee maker in a desperate attempt to get caffeinated. Believe it or not, caffeine is one of the most addictive drugs around. Okay, so the protagonist, the main character, is Kelly. And what's her antagonist? The problem? I don't have a big board. CM for coffee maker. What's a coffee maker? Well, it's technology. So we have a case of person versus technology. Number 4. Jerome and his family are vacationing on an island in tropical paradise. The waters are clear, the skies are big, and sand is clean. Suddenly, when a rumble shakes Jerome's sister off her beach chair, Jerome remembers that the island in which they are staying on is one big volcano. Soon, the mountain releases its wrath, and the eruption threatens every person on the island. Will Jerome and his family ever make it back home? Okay. Well, Jerome is the main character, right? He's up against a volcano. That's his antagonist. So it's person versus nature. Number 5. Kyle thought it was a little weird this morning when his neighbor tried to eat him. But it wasn't about halfway through the first period when he realized why. Kyle's community is under a full-scale zombie attack. Kyle escapes from the zombie's principal's office to find help. But the school's former bullies are now zombies. Kyle's going to have to get creative to survive this one. Okay. Oh, we have little Kyle versus zombies. Are zombies real? Of course not. If you think zombies are real, you need help. Okay? They're supernatural. So in this case here, it's person versus supernatural. I kind of like this thing. I'm kind of proud of my creation. I'm not the greatest carpenter, but I can get a few things done. Okay? Ever since Ziggy lost his twin brother in a tragic car accident, Ziggy hasn't been the same. He has been dragging his feet through life with a glazed look in his eyes. His grades have dropped. He doesn't want to hang out with his friends or family anymore, and he barely leaves his bedroom. Ziggy's mother cannot bear to lose two sons, so she sends Ziggy to an intensive survival boot camp program far away from home. Will Ziggy learn that life must go on? I like that idea. I got to talk to the director about that. Oh, just kidding. Well, we know who the protagonist is. There's only one main character, and that's Ziggy. Okay? And what's the problem? What's the force? It's Ziggy. So it's self. Ziggy is in a depressive mood, and his parents are kind of like at their wits' end. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Well, we got to somehow take Ziggy and bring him back to where he once was. So in this case here, again, it's person versus self. Sometimes those are the greatest struggles. I believe it was Thomas Edison who once said that if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. I'm sure it was borrowed because it's a true statement for thousands of years. Without self-confidence, without that belief that you can succeed, you're not. You kind of set yourself up for rejection. Number 7, Buck is the most skilled banjo player in town and is praised by all until Chuck arrives from the big city. Soon Buck's fans are going to Chuck's showings instead, and Buck decides to settle it. Now Buck must compete with Chuck in a contest of dueling banjos to determine who is the greatest and who will leave town for good. Will Buck's raw grassroots twang overcome Chuck's more polished big city style? Well, main character is Buck versus Chuck. Wow, how they rhyme. So it's Buck versus Chuck. So that's person versus person in this case here. Number 8, Willow loved living by herself in the middle of the woods until things started moving around her cabin all by themselves. Okay. It started with a book falling from a shelf and a light flickering on and off, and now it's gotten out of control. Willow contacts a medicine man who lives near her, and he informs her that she is dealing with ghosts. Can Willow make peace with these spirits, or will they make pieces out of her? Okay. So we have Willow versus ghosts. Okay. So we have Willow versus the ghosts. What are ghosts? Supernatural. Number 9, Alice is surrounded by junk. Everywhere she looks, people are littering, tossing recycled materials in the garbage, and wasting perfectly good resources that could be reused. Alice decides to take a stand against this. She and a small group of environmentally conscious friends create an anti-littering campaign. When one of their voices goes viral, Alice finally gets the attention that she needs to make her point. Will she be able to affect change? Well, we know main character is Alice. Pretty easy. Alice versus, well, in this case, it's society. Specifically, their wasteful habits. So we have Alice versus society. Again, this is a case of person versus society. All right. But after I clean up the board, this paper I'm not going to leave out in the woods. I'm going to take it with me because I don't want to litter up this beautiful place. Number 10. After Kylie and her friends run out of gas on a road trip, they find themselves stranded in the middle of the desert with nobody around for miles. With no phone signal, little water, and the brutal desert sun pounding down on them, Kylie and her friends make a desperate attempt to find water. Will they survive the harsh elements? Okay. Main character is Kylie. And what is she up against? Well, up against heat of the desert. And what's that? That's nature. Okay? So again, please do these assignments. They're very important. Again, I want to see all of you guys succeed. All right? We'll be going back to center soon enough. And I'm hoping to see you all back. All right? Thank you.